Hi, everyone. We're here on another Wednesday. And today we're going to talk about Alan L. Hart. Alan L. Hart was a researcher, writer, focused on moving forward the field of tuberculosis. So, for that reason, today we had a trivia question that focused on not tuberculosis specifically, but the chest cavity, which is an area that he focused on to help discover tuberculosis, signs of tuberculosis early on, so that it could be curbed and stopped, prevented. And likewise, there's a similar technology, whether x rays are used or not, but technologies that focus on the chest cavity to be able to help people. So that's why I chose that question for today, because Alan H. Hart was very involved in communities and in traveling. From just a little bit of research that I did, again, I'm just someone who's interested in kind of exploring different topics. So I don't have very in depth knowledge about this, but this week is very interesting because I watch movies pretty often, and I was watching a movie. I don't remember the name of it, but about a teacher who reminded me of John Green. And John Green's book is included in this list because he last year released a book on how tuberculosis is still pretty prevalent today. And the title of it is Everything is Tuberculosis. And I'm not entirely sure if he went into much depth on Alan H. Hart specifically, but I know that he mentions him in the book because I saw a video where he was talking a little bit about Alan. And Alan also was a transgender male and was born female, and in his adulthood transitioned, and that had a huge impact on his career. So that's why yesterday and the day before I mentioned topics related to transgender community events and locations and people. And just so happened that this week, being that it is the week before February, Black History Month, I did highlight and was really interested in focusing on the Black community when acknowledging the trans community. But but yeah, Alan H. Hart was definitely someone who dealt with issues related to being transgender and transitioning, but who has really moved away from that being a forefronted characteristic, which I think is awesome. So I didn't want to talk about that. And I did intentionally make sure that I included all types of individuals this year. And I think it's great that putting everyone in alphabetical order kind of leads me to still be surprised. I'm like, oh, yeah. So um, that's how all of that came together. But even elaborating a little bit more, tomorrow we'll see where things go. And I'd like to get some more pictures. I'd like to get some more pictures. So let's go ahead and share our screen and figure out which book we'll talk about today. But as far as a trivia situation or a quiz, as far as some quiz questions, I'll see what I can find for Alan H. Hart, but also just trans history. Um, and things like that. So, trans history. Free trivia. Thanks for the likes and the hearts and everything. If there's anyone out there who's watching. So, transgender pioneers quiz. Okay, on fun trivia. Let's use that one. In this quiz, I will look at just a few of the extraordinary transgender individuals who have achieved great things in a range of fields. Absolutely. Cool. So, how long is it? All right. Ooh. Are the answers at the bottom? All right. All right. One. In 1995, Georgina Bayer made history by being the first openly transgender person to be appointed mayor. Then, 4 years later, she made history again by becoming the world's first transgender member of parliament when she was elected as a Labour Party MP in which country? Now, MP should help, right? I don't know. Bayer, I'm going to guess New Zealand. I don't know. In 2016, Geraldine Roman became the first openly transgender politician to win a congressional seat in which predominantly Catholic country? Geraldine. I'm going to guess Argentina. I honestly am not sure. What is the surname of the sisters Lana and Lily? Perhaps best known for directing The Matrix and its two sequels, who were the first two openly transgender major Hollywood film directors. Oh, I think it's Cohen. What was the name of the British doctor who became the first trans man in the world to undergo pioneering phalloplasty surgery, as well as using his own experiences as a transgender man and as a physician to help others with their gender transitions? The British doctor. I really have no idea. I'm just going for Harry Stone. All right. In 2014, actor and LGBT advocate Laverne Cox made television history when she became the first openly transgender person to be nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award in an acting category for her role as Sophia Bursett in which Netflix original series? I think it's Orange is the New Black. It's not Arrested Development. If it's an original Netflix series, I think it's Orange is the New Black. I'm pretty sure I remember hearing about that actually. 2014. What is the post transition name of the composer who had a long and remarkable career during which she provided music for radio, television, and films, and which saw her become the first openly transgender person to be nominated for an Academy Award for her work on 1974's The Little Prince? There's so many words. Um, Composer. Whew, I don't know. Rebecca Norris or Angela Morley. I'm going to go for Norris. 7. Distinguished computer scientist Sophie Wilson, born Roger Wilson, is credited with designing an early home computer and associated processing language for which pioneering British computer company? Hmm, I don't know. I don't know any of these computer companies other than Apple. I'm guessing it's not Acorn. Commodore sounds very British. So does Amstrad. I'm gonna go Commodore. 8. What is the post transition name of the activist, writer, musician, and television personality born in 1969 who is the only son of a very famous husband and wife music duo of the 1960s who had a worldwide hit with the song I Got You, Babe? Sonny. What's the name of the actress, writer, musician, television performer who is the only son? Oh, the only son. I don't know. All I can put is Sonny and Cher. Two words, four and four letters. I have no idea. I'm not going to put anything because I really don't know. I know it was Sonny and Cher. Sonny and Cher's son. 9. Laura Jane Grace is the lead singer of which Florida based punk rock band that released the 2014 album Transgender Dysphoria Blues? Florida based. I think it's Misfits. The author Billy Martin is best known for writing gothic horror novels such as Exquisite Corpse and Lost Souls under what pseudonym? I have absolutely no idea. Peter Benchley. This is going to be. Oh, there are hints. Oh, all right. It's not Peter. Be bright. Let me get the hints out here. Oh, it's not Misfits? Oh, come on. It can't be Dead Kennedys. Please say it's against me. All right. What? Come on. Oh, okay, that's fine. All right. Let's hope for the best. Submit my answers. New Zealand. Okay, the Philippines. Wachowski. Michael Dillon. Orange is the New Black. Yes, I remember hearing about that. Angela Morley. Acorn? You've got to be kidding me. As well as designing the Acorn microcomputer, Sophie Wilson also designed the instruction set for the ARM processor, which is still used on modern smartphones. Chaz Bono against me and Poppy Z. Bright. Cool. Great. So, thinking a little bit more about the quiz that we ended up focusing on, I think. Let me see. Should I do a another quiz on tuberculosis? All right, we're going to do 2 quizzes today. We would do 2 quizzes when we're specifying a trans icon, if you will. All right. So let's go and do one more quiz. Let's see if there's one here for. Oh, I should be able to search. TB. No, not TV. TB. Tuberculosis. Tuberculosis. Here's a quiz about the influence that tuberculosis had on the arts and society in the 19th and early 20th centuries. What do you think about that? Ooh, we're gonna know. I'm disappointed. Okay, we'll look for a tuberculosis quiz somewhere else. Johns Hopkins Health Library. No, tuberculosis, including scrophulodoma. I think that's tuberculosis history quiz. Tuberculosis knowledge free quiz. Oh, this is probably the best one. All right, let's just stick with this one then. What do you know about tuberculosis? Many people think tuberculosis TB is no longer a threat, but it's still a leading killer worldwide. One third of the world's population, about 2 billion people, are infected with the bacteria that cause TB. How do you get TB? Through the air, through sexual contact, through contaminated food, through blood. I'm pretty sure it's through blood. Who is at risk of developing tuberculosis in this country? People taking certain medicines, migrant, farm workers, people with HIV, all of the above. What makes TB hard to diagnose? Symptoms aren't always obvious. Symptoms come and go. The disease may take years to become active. I'm pretty sure it's all of them, but I think it's A and B is the best answer. What are the symptoms of active TB? Weight loss, night sweats, loss of appetite. I'm going to guess all of the above. How is TB diagnosed? Chest x-ray, sample of sputum, skin or blood test, all of the above. I think it's all of the above again. For a diagnosis, I think it's all the above again. How is TB treated? Antiviral medicines, antibiotics, surgery, chemotherapy. Antiviral, I think. What has caused TB to become a serious public health problem? The rise in number of people with HIV infection, an increasing number of immigrants from areas of the world where TB is common, an increasing number of unhoused people, people who don't take their TB treatment correctly. I think it's C. I don't understand how how A could be an answer. I think the answer is C, but I'm going to go all of the above. Who in the US should receive a vaccine for TB? Infants, teens, adults over 65, adults under 65, adults over 65. Adults under 65, right? Yeah. I think that's right. Ooh, through blood. Is through the air? Who is at risk of developing tuberculosis? All of the above. What makes TB hard to diagnose? The disease may take years to become active. What are the symptoms? All of the above. How is TB diagnosed? All of the above. Antiviral antibiotics. All of the above. For what has caused. Okay. And then who in the US should? Oh, none of the above. What? Although a vaccine BCG is available, it is not recommended in this country because the rate of TB infection is low and because vaccinating people would make the TB skin test less useful. Someone vaccinated against TB may show a positive skin test, even if not infected, especially in the few years following vaccination. Infants who live in areas of the world where TB is common should be. The vaccine does not work very well in adults. All right. It's interesting. I've gotten tested for TB multiple times, but I guess that's not the same as being vaccinated. Okay, so let's decide which of these we're going to look at in more depth. should probably be one of Hart's books. So let's go to Instagram. We could do this one. There's John Green's book. This is a good one. These Mysterious Rays, Parrotfish, and For the Love of April French. So we're thinking of a collection of itineraries that make up the larger retracing of the steps. So Alan or Mr. Hart did travel to different countries. So again, we can have itineraries in different countries. Should the itineraries be in different countries? No. Let's see what I get if I say, should the itineraries pretty much focus in the United States? Should the itineraries be based on something other than geography this week? Yeah. Okay. So we're retracing steps, but not in a physical sense. Okay. Now with Afong Moy, it's very much geography based, but it seems it's going to be much more experiential this time. So what I appreciated last week was having one aspect of the TSR travel itineraries change while the other two stayed the same. So the question is, can we get a clear indication of which of the three we focus on? Let's see. History and persistence of our deadliest infection. I shuffled out a 10. I think that's a rating for the book. So, all right, let's see what we can get for, according to Mr. Hart. Let's see. Oops. So while I'm shuffling and then getting this paper together, I hope nobody minds. But I will have to do a little bit of an update to the posts that I have so far so that there's an image between the reels and the takeaways, just so we can get more color. And so that means I'll probably be deleting all of these and reposting them at some point. And probably this weekend before we talk about Alexis Arquette. It's kind of a tough decision because there's so many more things to post, but it's fine and it's better. So I'll be posting kind of flashback pictures like I did before, where shortly before posting the takeaways, I just have a picture, I talk about it. And I'll be posting pictures from when I went to New York and pictures from my tour last year. I don't have that many pictures, but I have enough. I have enough. So the footnotes will come in two forms. There will be videos where I hopefully do short little songs, and then there will also be footnotes where I just have pictures of, places where I went and maybe a thought or an idea or something that comes to mind about some place I was before. All right, so do I focus on the travel itineraries? Do I change the travel itineraries this week? Yeah. So we're changing the travel again. So that means that the study and the write remain the same again. No? Would you like for them to change? No? Is it up to me? I'm not getting a clear response on this one. So Alan H. Hart. Oh. Would you like for the study to change? Yes. Would you like for the write to change? Okay. So you'd like for every itinerary to be very unique? Yes. All right. That's fine. So time frame, summertime. Yes. All right. We're going to try to focus on having things to do in the summertime. Ooh. What is there with tuberculosis and the summertime? Tuberculosis in the summertime. Tuberculosis TB notifications show a distinct seasonal peak, often 24% higher in the summer months compared to winter. While transmission frequently occurs in winter due to indoor crowding, the summertime surge in diagnosis is likely caused by the delayed presentation of symptoms, low winter sunshine/vitamin D levels, and seasonal changes. I don't really know what that means. Summer peaks, TB cases often peak between April and September in various regions, often attributed to the lag time between winter infection and symptom development. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to make a note of that. I'm just going to do Google AI. Oop. And that's 12. This is 11. Summer peaks. All right. So summertime focus is good. That's interesting. Okay. So generally we're traveling, we're changing all of these. Okay. Every itinerary is going to be unique. So let me go ahead and organize this a little bit differently. Luckily, there's a good amount of time left, so I'm hoping I can map out everything and then fill in details before releasing everything on Friday. Why is ooh oh. I wonder why that wasn't there before. Either way. Five itineraries, all in the summertime, related to just tuberculosis? No. So we're going to be mixing in TB and transgender themes. No. Would you like it to be just transgender themes? And then tuberculosis is acknowledged with the fact that it's during the summertime. Okay. Now I need some support with this. So I'm going to look up an article that hopefully offers some general transgender best practices. Transgender common experiences, other transgender people. Okay. All right. Okay. Other transgender people. So each itinerary should kind of be dedicated to another transgender person. No? Every itinerary is actively, clearly dedicated to a transgender person. Okay. So not kind of. That is the driving piece of the itinerary. All right. So what I'll do is I'll find 5 different people, and then each of those 5 people will inspire the deeper messages and things that come along with the itinerary. Cool. The question is, do I skip Alan Hart? Yeah. Okay, so we're finding 5 other people. 5. Should I choose people that are currently alive? Cool. So we're finding people that are alive and finding a way to support what they're doing. Is that kind of what we're on to? All right. Awesome. Pretty good at that. Now I understand. Cool. So let's do that. Prominent transgender people of. Oh, I got the directors wrong. Oops. Who were the directors? I'm sorry about that. Wachowski. Commonly credited as the Wachowskis for the directing work, Lana and Lily made their directorial debut with 1996's Bound and followed it up with the box office smash The Matrix 3 years later. Their other works have included V for Vendetta, Cloud Atlas, and Speed Racer. Come on. Lana, whose birth name was Lawrence, completed her gender transition in 2008, but did not make her first public appearance following her transition until 2012. In 2016, Lana's youngest sister, Lily, whose birth name was Andrew, announced that she had also undergone gender reassignment. The Wachowskis. The Wachowskis? I don't know if that's a confirmation. All right, yeah, so we'll go ahead and go for the Wachowskis. All right. Lana and Lily Wachowski film. So it could be something like a film. What about the books? I guess we'll just match it up later because last week the furniture stores, the antique shops, they didn't necessarily match with the book. I'm not going so firmly with the book as I have in the past. I'm doing the best that I can to fit the vibe. Yeah. So it's different, but it's good. All right. Fitting the vibes. Wachowski. But the Wachowski sisters, I'm sorry, the Wachowskis. Film directing workshop. Film directing workshops offer hands-on training, script analysis, and techniques for working with actors to prepare aspiring and experienced directors for the industry. Key programs include Sundance Collab, New York Film Academy, and Film Independent, focusing on visual storytelling, scene breakdown, and technical on-set skills. Okay, Sundance Collab. Sounds good for the summertime. Okay. Sundance Collab. That's going to be the T. Two. I kind of want to find other people from that quiz. No? All right, we're just going to find a list of prominent trans leaders today. Belgium's Deputy Prime Minister Petra de Sutter. Petra de Sutter. In case anybody, I had a 6, somehow dropped it, and then I got a 7. All right, so cool. Let's go for Petra de Sutter. Now, there's a focus here on a certain type of transition. I think I should try to have a mix of both, right? So I'm just going to actively look for Rachel Levine. All right, let's look here. All right, here we go. Hmm. Okay, so I'm going to look for the last name to be a more male presenting name, Justin. Greg. All right, cool. All right, I will be right back. I'll be right back. All right, I'll wait until. All right, so these are the 5 names that we have. We have the Wachowskis, and I'll I'll work that out. Okay, the Sundance collab. This one is uh Petra de Sutter. Petra. We're saying that Petra is Petra the Prime Minister? Right, we're saying Petra is the Prime Minister. Is that right? I have to keep this. Petra's the Prime Minister. Hold on. Greg may or may not be trans. I don't think Greg is trans. She became the first openly transgender state legislator to win an election. Okay, so Dancia Roem is. Okay, but Greg, I don't know. It doesn't say here. Sorry. Mhm. I'd like to find someone who's in the creative arena. No? Transgender rights. Raquel. Queen Jean. Meg. I'm not